Yo, doing a little album review here. Not really too big of a critic of music in general. I feel like you have to accept the art for what it is during that time period. And, I was just like a little young college student at the time when this album came out. But I don't think it's gotten the respect it deserves from the music industry. I think this could potentially be a top 10 greatest rap album of all time. Elements by B.O.B. in my opinion, could be a top 10 rap album if the music industry wasn't corrupt. Now, why? Why? Why don't many people know about this? Why didn't it get all the plays back in 2016? Why aren't any artists working with B.O.B. now? Why? Because he spoke the truth. He spoke the truth on what this music industry is and the plans for the future. And people don't like when you speak the truth because the truth hurts. And people want to hide behind lies, hide behind fake numbers, hide behind money and power and fame. But if you're as famous as B.O.B. and you're still upset with how the world works, then there's something wrong with the world. Because I could get famous too. And then I could find out 10 years later that it's really not what you think it is. That it's like a facade, a mirage, You're on the outside looking in, the grass is always greener, but once you go to the greener pastures, you look back at your old life and you're like, well, maybe it wasn't so bad because all this seems like a little too much. So yeah, shout out B.O.B. for like exposing the truth with the music industry, because we all kind of knew, we all kind of knew what was going on. But there's just certain things about this album that I really love. I can use this album as a weapon. That's pretty damn cool, right? Like using music as a weapon to fight the system, to fight our society's issues with propaganda and the media in control, using music as a weapon, because you can't go out and violently do things. You can't go out and maybe post on certain platforms, but you can get on Spotify. I'm a fucking blunt, bro. It's a little dry in here, so I'm just gonna smoke like the rest of this. But yeah, I'm just gonna spark this up. Music can be a weapon, which is pretty badass in my opinion. All I really gotta do now is, if anyone fucks with me, I'll just start playing this music all the time, and then they'll be like, shut up, stop it, stop it, stop it. I can't have B.O.B.'s album blow up and it becomes a legendary album in history, and people realize that everything was a lie that we grew up in, like Santa Claus. It's kind of one of those things your parents tell you about Santa Claus. Like, we're not hiding the presents. Sorry, kids, I ruined that for you, but shouldn't be watching my YouTube videos anyways. But yeah, like, it's one of those things. Like, the whole music industry is just so fake. And, there's certain artists that they need to want to control. which is why can't get this going. Oh well. So we're just gonna play a couple songs here, see what's up.
Been told you about the cover up. I've been
Told you about the watchers. They wanna turn us into monsters.
They circumcise your cock first. Vaccinate you second. Desensitize your heart third. Have you ever watched Purge? Effects are subtle, but the outcome is a lie words. Psychopath, schizophrenia. Watch us kill each other unbothered. They treat us like a lost herd. We run a new age thinkers and philosophers. But every guru ain't 1,000. Watch out for imposters. It's a dog eat dog world. It's a dog eat dog world. Me, I'm in the murder. Just trying to keep some calm nerves. Propaganda just like clockwork. Nigga panic just like clockwork. I'm just chillin' in the murder. By the crazies and them monsters. Why am I talking proper? Like I went to Iceberg. Haters ain't on my Doppler. She don't really want me, she just wanna be more popular. Why you talking to they wall, sir? Someone call this guy a doctor.
It's just real shit, you know what I mean? So, obviously there's more songs on here than just that. And this is where B.O.B. basically predicted, or he was given knowledge from some higher ups over what the future would be. And that if he didn't go along with it, they would destroy his career, which they did try, but he's got a long career ahead of him, you know?
She gon' get that D with my dummy. No Benny Hunter, just top army. I feel like King Tutankhamun. Pay your homage, Bobby Ray the shaman. I'ma stay in something conscious, I promise. Saw this day was coming like a plague or something. 100 nations form a summit. Congress, no hesitation.
You hear that? Like a plague or something was coming. What happened in these last few years? Was there a plague? Is there going to be another plague made by the government? Probably. Something about that. So there's a lot of really good eye-opening songs to awaken your consciousness.
Bred in a corn addiction with a synthetic composition. On the brink of a civil war or the forming of one religion. I wonder what came first, dinosaurs or Darwinism? Pledging allegiance to a flag since elementary. Writing curses and casting spells, stung by the spelling bee. Then they say congratulations, you graduated.
I'll cast a curse on you, which is what the English language is. We are all casting curses on each other. So watch what you say to people. Now, could we change the language? Sure. But that's a little difficult. You know, we're just born here. So, yeah.
Slavery to pay slavery, you actually made it. Here, take this gown and cap and wave it. Like a celebration of going to school just to get a job to pay for it. Like a nation that traded its minerals in exchange for paper payment. Here, these are your gods, you have to praise them. I wonder who we worship if we weren't captured and traded. Consider this my affidavit. Yeah, it's the ruling class here to rule your ass. Prescription drug thug, cocaine mule your ass. Agricultural skills sure would suit your ass.
You hear that? The ruling class here to rule your ass. Now we are not a part of the ruling class. Everybody who's on the bottom, an average person in the middle class, you are not a part of the ruling class. You can act like you are, but you're still taking orders from a lot of people with much more power than you are. So stop competing against your fellow peasants and work together because there is strength in numbers. So why are you competing at someone at work for a stupid little $2 an hour raise for a supervisor position? Like, are you serious? You think that $2 is gonna change your life? Hell no. Get you some extra smokes at the end of the week, or like a few more drinks at the bar. You know, that shit's gotta stop for sure. So there's a lot of good songs on here. I'm gonna see like how many I can go through, but it's kind of my like review. And then you kind of need like a good sounding music to like really bump, where it's like replayable. I think Vultures is a really replayable song.
I see savages, battered children, shattered families. Shots fired off so quick, so fast, you would think it's on accident. All done for the red, for the white, and the blue. Like, wait, whose flag is this? And I ask you, is it an act of valor or a strange reality? And they make us free thinkers feel like we the radicals. But the world is a battlefield, and right now we the establishment. When it comes to war, there's no real parameters. American pie is a sweet distraction from what's really happening. I can see the vultures fly over me, watching me all the time. Blood on their wings.
Yeah, so just like that good replayable music as well, because you need something to bang your head to, you know, and vibe to a little bit, where, you know, it's not always about like conspiracies and stuff. But that's just kind of what makes this album like really dope and really cool, because it's ahead of its time. It explained our system perfectly in a way that anybody who's young can understand it completely. And for B.O.B. to do this as an artist of his stature, that's pretty badass, because he's risking a lot clearly with this album on what he's talking about. And he was already going through like the flat earth stuff, so he probably had a little motivation. But I just think like B.O.B.'s funny as hell for having a beef with Neil deGrasse Tyson for this long. Like, dude's the only rapper like who's had a beef with a goddamn scientist. That's just funny to me. Like, it's hilarious.
But I guess the truth must hurt. I guess that's why they butt hurt. All the secrets that I unearthed, no stone left unturned. To learn to fly, you gotta jump first. I touch the sky, that's why I'm sunburned. I changed your life in only one verse. Welcome to the seventh pinnacle, somewhere between the metaphysical, the hell is spiritual. I've seen hell, and hell is digital as well as visual. Hell is how they did the aboriginal. Hell is when the innocent get murdered and they don't arrest the criminal. Oh my God, take the steering wheel. But why do something that I ain't intend to do? No interviews, pacing in my living room. But I was gotten into you. You wildin', you invented the shit like you invincible. People always ask me, geez, why I used to living, dude? Shit, I wonder why I'm living too. Why I'm living too. Why I'm living too. Say what's wrong with me? Shit, what's wrong with you? Cause me, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, that shit's just fire, dude. Like, I can't believe, yeah. Like, what more can you say? What more can you say about this album? It's just fire front to back. I think it's going to be remembered as one of the greatest rap albums of all time in the future, when the music industry isn't so corrupt, and that the powers in charge all die off like the dodo, so that they can't live forever, and the younger generation like me and other people are going to step up and actually make change, because we know what's going on, and we know the powers that are being manipulated and turning people into like little robots who follow whatever narrative the mainstream media puts in front of people. And now they're gonna try other ways now that they know mainstream media isn't working. So we definitely gotta, watch ourselves for the future, for sure. So it's always good to like use music as a weapon, like in a good way, because there's just things that if you try to become a music artist, the government, other people are gonna fuck with you to tear you down so that you cannot change history. B.O.B. changed history with this album. He changed the history of the nation. So anybody can change history. As a human being, you just gotta be willing to let go of that ego and put yourself out there and make a change. But yeah, no, I'm still gonna be rocking with this album for like a long time, because after COVID happened and the jabs and everything, like, man, just dude was like spot on with everything. And even I questioned some of it as a kid, but I just taught myself to like keep an open mind and understand that I don't know everything, and that maybe he was given some knowledge from some higher ups on what the future could hold. So that's really all I gotta say about that. Elements album, 10 out of 10. That's my final score, and nobody can change my mind on that.